Alright, here we are back on the Subaru again with the rod knock. So I'm going to go ahead and start taking that engine out. I've got another one here that I picked up from another shop. And it looks as though it's going to work. This is an actual JDM engine. Sorry, I've got so much junk on there. I kind of do that. Just kind of throw things where they lay. But this is a good JDM engine. It's got no more than 60,000 miles, they said. Good timing belt. Everything looks good there. Should just bolt right up. This is the EJ25, which is the same thing that this car's got in it. So I'm going to start doing some, let's see, drain the coolant. I've done a few things on top. And of course, we got our little buddy. What you doing? What are you doing? Looks like we got all the kitties here today. What are you guys doing? Yeah, it looks like we're going to get another storm. Looks like it's going to rain me out. This is the only place I've got to work on this silly car, but oh well. What are you doing, girl? You gonna hang out? And the light's dead. Where's the light dead? Here's a quick tool tip, regular old pair of pliers, and I've gone in there and I've taken my Dremel tool and I've cut through here. Just a couple little deals there you can kind of see. And what I do that for is these clamps right here seem to be the most frustrating thing you can find on a vehicle. So I'm just putting most of the stuff here in my old pickup just to kind of get it out of my way. And I've just about got the intake manifold pulled off of here. It's loose. Got quite a bit of wiring and stuff that's got to come off of here. And the reason I'm pulling the manifold now is because why? Oh, it's because the other manifold on the replacement engine over there, if you can see it, that manifold over there is plastic. I'll show you my special tool. Needle nose pliers. They were actually not bent when I got them. I've tightened them up by smacking them there. I've cut grooves in them for those hose clamps that they're always in the way. So that's a pretty old, crazy set, but they still work okay. Use them for all kinds of stuff. One of these bolts way down here. I'm going to try this homemade wrench that I did here. Oh, man, there's not a lot of room. Do you think it's right? Yeah. I couldn't get an impact on it, not back in there for some reason. These little homemade wrenches work pretty good. Now see, now I can take a little shorty down in there. So you can now the next thing's going to be to get this engine off of here without creating a big mess. We'll just see. We'll just have to see. I think this engine is a 2012. It's a little bit newer than this 2009 over here. This 2009's got a pretty nasty knock in it, so as you've all heard. Alright, so what I've got to do is I've got a couple of differences here. I'll show you what I have. So in this engine here, this is a good engine. You can see it's got these bolt holes in it. And this one over here does not have those. So what you have here is this engine is a coil unplug. And so it does have leaking tube seals. So I'm going to take the valve covers off. But first I've got to get this timing cover off of here so you can see it. Cut a part of this whole thing, so I've got to get that off. Get the big boy out. There we go. Got the Ingersoll Rand out. God bless America. That's not the right size, is it? culvert's right there. There's a rock. I don't know. They say it's only got 60,000 miles. I got a feeling that's not true. Just my thoughts. We do the same to this side here because I want to use those valve covers. The new gaskets here. Those are your tube seals. I'm going to show you this. Hold on a second. Alright, sorry about the jiggly camera. You take your flashlight and look down inside there. And you can see where it's actually got quite a bit of oil down in there. So it only takes one to cause a real big problem. Engine misfires, things like that. So they're going to have new spark plugs and everything put in there. So we're going to do that before we put this thing inside the car. Alright, so just about got everything that I'm going to do here. I've got these other valve covers on. There's the other ones there with the coil on plug. And these actually had different screws in them. These are the ones that go to the old cover. These right here kind of look like this, but they were a bit longer to go through there. And then I noticed this. This is a JDM, but unfortunately when they sent it, they broke it. They've got one break right there, and they've got a nice little crack right there. So I don't think I'm going to be able to use those, even though they're in good shape and they're fairly new. Looks like what I'm going to have to do is probably come down here, and I didn't really want to use these. There's no telling what that is. I can clean it up, I guess, and use it. Since it's not cracked, I don't really want a cracked cover, but I'm probably going to need to clean that pretty good. So I'll probably just stick it in the solvent tank. And that's the problem with this one here. I think it'll clean up okay. So anyway, we'll keep moving forward. Alright, so the plot thickens. This is the old engine here. Couldn't tell which one. I think it's number 1. And that's the one you can't get to. Oop, there it is. Yep. That's the one. Alright. So anyway. So here's the replacement engine, which I found out with the car's an 09. And this engine is a 2012. Well, the obvious difference was this one has the aluminum intake manifold. And this one, sorry about anyway. So this is the plastic intakes. Hopefully you can see that. My little headlight is probably going dead here. That is my new toy. It's pretty nice. Anyway, so that's the intake there that had, and there's 2 of them here. The guy got the engine from. He's like, yeah, I got both of those. I don't know if you need them, but here they are. So I got them. Alright, so this is the oil pan off the old engine. I cleaned it. Everything's good there. This is the oil pan off this newer engine. It's a smaller pan, but he gave me the advice saying, you know, it won't work because it'll hit the subframe a little bit. And this is the superstructure underneath there. That's off the new engine. So what I had to do is go in and change out this windage tray here and some other items. Well, got to looking. This is the pickup tube that I'm going to need. I had to clean it out. There was lots of carnage inside there. This basically goes into that screw and then fits up inside there. Well, as you can see, which I don't know if my headlight's bright enough, but here's my flashlight. Looks like their holes are not actually tapped. So I'm going to go in there and I get to tap those holes. Now another problem that we have on the new oil pan here. There's one that lines up. I don't know if you can see those, but I've got a couple that are okay, and that one right there is going to have to be drilled and tapped, and so is that one there. Well, alright, so I just want to put that pickup tube on there. You can see the holes line up okay, but they're not drilled and tapped. So I guess we better get to it. 6mm by, I believe they're 1.0. I'm gonna make an attempt to widen the holes out on this pan. So I'm just going to use one of these little bits here and these front bolts. A couple of them I'm going to have to make them a little bit bigger. And then the bolts we put in there are going to be these. I think they're going to ride right along the edge, which I may have to make something different with that. Maybe a little piece of pipe or something. Yeah, that's going to take some work to get that right. What I might have to do is actually put some sort of a spacer in there that's smaller than this ridge right here. I'll try something here and I'll get back with you. Alright, so here's what I fabbed up. So I took some little bits of pipe, cut the edge of it off, and then put this bolt up inside here. And see, I want to try and retain let me see if that's going to work. Let me get these dang gloves off. Alright, let's have a look and see how that looks. Let me get a light over there, you can kind of see. I think that's probably going to be okay. I can still get the socket on there, and it's going to have enough squish factor on there. It should go ahead and tighten that down. And there's only two of those, because you can see that one's going to be open and that one's going to have to be re-drilled, so why not just drill it back to the 6mm and put the smaller bolts in. I've got plenty of the small bolts. So next step is I'm going to put some, looks like I'm going to just use some regular gasket sealant on that, lay it up in there real nice and easy, and then start putting the screws up in there and go from there. And I'll show you when I get to the end of that. Alright, looks like we've got that. Went ahead and drilled those 2 bolt holes out here and here. Since they weren't, the original holes are kind of stuck over here, and I think one's right below here. I think the block is actually built for, if you look up inside there, just above this bolt right here, you see kind of a boss right up inside there. I think it's actually built for a different type of block, or a different type of mounting. And these look loose, but they've got those pieces that I cut in there, and so they're putting enough pressure on there. You can see that one really good. I think we're going to be okay. Looks like the gasket material squished out a little bit on every corner, so should be good. You'll see around the other side here. I think everything looks good. Alright, I'm just about ready to start putting this engine in, so I'm going to give you a thumbs up. Like, share, subscribe if you like, and we'll keep going on this series. Try to get this car going. Anyway, thanks for watching.